Hey, gang, what's cracking, man? The motherfucker back in this bitch, man, with another live for you niggas, man. Before the night over with, though, this some crazy shit, man. Some wild shit, man. Some you know, underbelly, soft white underbelly shit. I mean, like some weirdo shit, gang. I don't know. But we gonna check this shit out, man. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers on here. And I find it interesting, though, because I was watching this shit myself. They got some motherfuckers on there, prostitution and all types of crazy shit going on here, gang. Let's check it out, man. They got gang members and shit, weirdo shit. Like, let's see, the nigga got plenty of motherfucking views, though. Fitting on the crack at it. Shorty was saying, so I remember that one. Who was this foot fetish? This nigga look weird. Feet. Loving ass nigga fitting on addict. How the fuck? I thought that shit knock you out, gang. Let's check it out.
All right, Travis.
Hey.
Travis, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Leesburg, Virginia, about 30 miles west of D.C.
Oh. Tell me about your family. You had mom and dad?
Yeah, pretty normal childhood. Nothing too, traumatic. They got divorced when they were 4. My dad,
When
my
you
mom.
were 4?
Yeah. So my mom raised my brother and I. Brother's about 2 years older than me. And my dad was in Virginia Beach while we were in Northern Virginia. So it was only about a 4-hour drive. So he kept in touch with us and visited us, and especially when it came to football games.
Salute. Hit
You know,
that
he
like
was,
subscribe button.
he played college ball, coached. You know, me and my brother growing up, that's what we trained for, and that's what our dad was all about. So that was basically our life from a younger kid to college, basically. We both played college football. My brother played Virginia Tech, all region running back in high school. Got a full ride to VMI, Virginia Military Institute. Yeah, so I went from that to a whole another level. At first it was just alcohol, and that just kind of got me started. Feeling good, took away all the anxiety, fears that I had. And so that led to not caring about trying other drugs. Basically, marijuana I probably smoked that every day for I don't know how long, and then came cocaine, and that took it to another level. At that point, I was actually playing football at VMI. So cocaine led to crack, and crack took me down a really dark road, really bad and really fast. I just lost all ambition. I got kicked out of school, lost my scholarship. I took some highly risky, dramatic, missions to get high, desperate. After the porn gig didn't work out, that took me to robbing drug dealers in Baltimore City, the ghetto. So I don't know if you've ever been to Baltimore. Baltimore's one of the roughest, scariest places.
I've been there.
Yeah, so I was in my mid-20s. I was still, I'd just gotten out of, I think, doing some time. I don't know if it was prison or jail. It was jail, I think, at that point. And I was, pretty healthy guy on the beach in Laguna Beach. Asked me one day if I wanted to do some porn. Or no, he said, do I want to model for board shorts? And I was just like, sure, whatever. I didn't care, I went to Laguna Beach where his house was, got there, and it was a whole different, he's basically like, do you want to make more money and do porn? I'm like, hell yeah, I'll be a porn star. You know what I mean? Let's do it. So he gave me the application.
Is that the crack talking?
Huh?
Is that the crack talking?
Yeah, that was the crack. I mean, I wouldn't have done that,
Is there a big difference between cocaine and crack?
Big difference.
In terms of your decision making and
what crack you do? Crack is a much much more intense drug. I mean, the high and the low is way intense, especially the low. I don't want to stay down or be down at all, So anyways, the whole thing with porn was, was not to bust too early. You gotta be like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be that guy, and I wasn't doing I was actually in Cali at the time from the East Coast trying to get clean. I came out to get clean. So I told myself I'm just going to do a little bit of heroin for that so I can make money. I'm not going to like keep doing it or whatever, you know. So that, needless to say, didn't work out. I mean, the producer was asking me like, "What's wrong with you? You can't, you know, do I need to get better looking females? Like, what's going on with you?" Because I couldn't ejaculate. You know, I couldn't bust. And he couldn't believe it, you know, because these girls were like, "Hi," and I was like, and I finally, like, after like the second time, I mean, the first time he had to take pina colada mix and go, you know, behind me and squirt it like I was, you know, ejaculating. So he said, basically, I ended up sitting him down and telling him, "Look, man, I got a problem. You know, it's not too bad right now. I'm just hooked on some pills. You know, trust me, it'll be different next time." But that next time wasn't different. It was the same thing. So he told me to go get clean. I never got clean. Never went back. So that was like probably the beginning of like the desperate measures that I took to get the drug. But prior to that, on the East Coast, you know, I did some things that, like I told you, in Baltimore, that were probably would have got me killed. It would have got me killed easily. You know, we're talking, you know, going down in the inner city, looking just like pretty much a college student, a healthy college student, you know, just like normal, and trying to get dope, and then they keep getting turned away because they think I'm a cop. You know, I got super frustrated. You know, found myself a gun, found myself a fake badge, and I went down there. And as soon as the middleman would come to the car, I'd tell him what I wanted. And as soon as he got back, you know, I'd be like, "Baltimore police, get on the ground right now! Get on the ground!" You know, and just real intense, you know, real quick, real loud, just, you know, get them all frazzled, and immediately they go to the ground. Immediately go down, and I grab the dope, and I get in the car and I drive away.
And the money too.
And the money, and whatever they had on them, and it got to the point where this was like becoming like I was doing this, you know, frequently. Let's say like
He was loving
3-4
this
times
shit,
a week for like a month straight.
Nigga was really loving this.
Yeah, but the neighborhood that like was like close to home that I would not do that in, you know, don't shit in your backyard type shit. Guy came up to me, real nice guy, and he said, "Look, Travis, you need to stop, dude. They know what you're doing. Look at your car, dude. You got like red stripes going down. This Camry is all beat up from just." He's like, "Dude, they know what you're doing, man. They're onto you, man. You got to stop now. They're gonna kill you as soon as you get into the projects." And I was just like, that's when I just backed off, man. I knew I needed help, so that's when I decided to come out to Cali. I got an older brother out here and get clean, and then I ended up not getting clean. Ended up getting like two prison terms out here, distribution of heroin. Just a maniac still. I was going down and robbing some of these dealers, just straight up, just taking it out of their hand. I was getting foot chased. I was, you know, tackled, getting fights. Like, just a maniac, man. I was just a maniac. Like, didn't care. You know, just didn't care. Now I say I calmed down a lot though. I've calmed down. I had like about a year clean. I had a nice girlfriend. I loved her to death. Like, had a good job. Bought my first car. Had a little BMW. I was doing loans up in Santa Ana in Orange County. But I saw that the relationship was going way downhill, and I don't, you know, a lot of it was because I was hiding my addiction and lying. Almost killed this. I bought her a Pomeranian puppy, and you know, for Christmas. And she fell in love with the puppy. You know, it was great. Everything was cool. You know, the puppy's growing up a little bit, and then the puppy's like 5 months old, I think it was. I had lost a sack of fentanyl. Right, I didn't know where it went. She comes in the room with the puppy, like, "Travis, what's wrong with my dog?" And I look into the dog. He's like slobbering, and his eyes closed.
Lost a sack of fentanyl. That's crazy. And I thought the fentanyl kill you. How in the hell? Where do you find this at? Can't make this up.
I was like, get in the fucking car right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I had to tell her everything on the way to the emergency vet. You know, she's crying. The dog's like dying. And I'm telling her like that I'm sorry. I'm like crying too. Like I can't, like I love this. I can't believe I did this. Like
The dog died from fentanyl?
Huh?
The dog died from.
No, they ended up giving the dog a little bit of like Narcan and saving the dog.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they saved the dog, but the relationship didn't get saved.
There's no Narcan for the relationship.
Right. But
I mean, one thing,
Trying to get a dog the Narcan.
I guess like there was like
brought
a
him back up.
you know, she loved the fact that like, at least in those situations, I'm still gonna like try to save the dog. I'm still gonna be honest. I'm not gonna just, I don't know, you know what I mean, and let the dog die. That's not me. And deep down inside, like I know that like I have really good intentions.
You still have some ethics.
Right. I still have ethics. Yeah. And
What is your drug now?
fentanyl.
Fentanyl. So you switched from crack to fentanyl at some point?
Yeah. Well, heroin.
Heroin?
I didn't think I'd ever leave heroin, man. I was like, as soon as that drug hit my body, man, it was like, this is it, man.
How do you compare crack to heroin?
Crack sucks. Crack is like the devil, man. I see these guys out here on it, man. It's on. I think it's coming back now. Like really, a lot of these youngsters are doing it, man, and like they're just stealing from their friends, man. I got this twice now. My car's sitting over here on Maple
That's
7,
That's a
man.
lot of young
I know, like,
motherfuckers out
you
here
know,
doing that shit, man. That fentanyl, that heroin shit, gang. You young motherfuckers need to put them drugs down, gang. Get your life together, nigga.
You sleeping in your car now?
I'm sitting in my car, but someone stole my key, and you know, I'm not hanging out with the best group. I love it. I love these guys. They have good people, but the crack is really like the ones that are doing crack are the ones that are really like, I can see like going downhill. And unfortunately, I'm hanging out with them. I left when my girlfriend and I broke up. I was heartbroken. I wanted to go somewhere where I could be left alone and do my thing. And Skid Row was it, man. You
can do whatever you want down here.
Yeah, honestly, I think everybody should at least come visit Skid Row from the outside, no matter what, dude. I think it's like
that's crazy because I heard Skid Row was
for as bad as it is. It's almost like
I seen an interview with this girl earlier. She was like, the Skid Row was fucked up. And this motherfucker, did you hear what he just said? He just said, come down here and visit Skid Row. Like, dude, no.
It's almost like something you have to see, you know what I mean? Yeah, you have to see it. Like, it doesn't get much crazier than Skid Row.
It's hard to imagine.
I mean, some of the roads, like, they're not even like, almost like they're not even working anymore because there's so many crazies walking through it. Like, you know what I mean? You don't even like, it's like, it looks almost deserted.
Everyone says that, I've been to Kensington and done this, and I've done it in Skid Row for years. Comparing Kensington and Skid Row, I think Skid Row is a million times worse because on Skid Row, everyone's hiding in a tent. If you knew what was going on in the tents, you'd understand how out of control Skid Row is. And in Kensington, there's very few tents, and everyone's out on the sidewalk, and you can see it all. So it looks worse, but in reality, Skid Row is much worse.
Yeah,
mental illness here is so out of control.
It is. It's
just insane. So what do you do now? How old are you?
I'm 43.
You're 43. Is there addiction in your family?
So my older brother, I'm real tight with him. He was addicted the same as me, but different drugs. I don't really want to put his business out there, but his was a little bit different than mine. But an addict is, it's all super tough, man, and it's hard to get clean. I mean, but he did. He's got. I'm so proud of him now. He's got. That's going to be my driving force. Like, I look forward to getting clean and spending some time with him. He went through a program. He did like a little rehab, and like he dedicated himself for a year. He said, "I'm gonna do this for a year. If I don't like it, I can always go back and refund my misery." They say, So I'm really proud of him, man. Him and I are super close. I mean, he's 2 years older.
What advice does he give you?
He's just waiting. My family's waiting. They're good people, man.
You're not gonna be ready until you're ready.
Yeah, they're not trying to like, they know that like they can't. There's not much they can do. They're just waiting for me to get sober. But my brother's the guy that, you know, is going to be like my support, you know, right from, he said, I'll come down there right now. I'll fly out there right now, dude. I'll get you in a rehab. Let's do this. Let's do this, man. This is fourth quarter, dude.
What's your biggest fear now? Because fentanyl is a tough drug.
My biggest fear is like,
tough drug to put down.
Yeah, it's not getting clean, and you know, just seeing my family pass away, probably.
If you had your life to live all over again, what would you have done differently?
Probably would have never even experimented with alcohol or anything, you know, because that's pretty much what led me down the path.
You feel like alcohol is the first gateway?
Yeah.
Led to pot, which led to coke, and then crack, and then heroin and fentanyl.
Yep, that was it.
You missed meth?
No, like I've actually missed heroin a lot. Like
you skipped crystal meth.
Yeah, that wasn't a big part of my story. It's in and out. Like I do it frequently, not as much, but you know, it's there. You know, but I don't ever do meth unless I've got plenty of opiates. You know what I mean?
What do you think most people don't understand about drug addiction?
The level of I guess the level of pain and suffering that the drug addict goes through, whether they're, you know, high or coming off it or whatever. You just have that feeling of like hopelessness, you know.
There's also the shame and guilt.
The shame and the guilt, like it's so intense, you know. It's like I don't think, you know, you can.
People think you guys are walking around having a great time.
Yeah.
Proud of yourselves.
No, you're just
there's so much shame that you can't even contact your family.
Yeah, you're covering up the pain. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I don't even care about I haven't had a phone since I got down here. Yeah, I've talked to my mom maybe once, and you know, my brother said my dad's like
no family since he got down there. Like, what the fuck? Them drugs, how you doing that shit, y'all?
What kind of emotions you go through down here?
Down here?
Yeah, just living this lifestyle.
Yeah, here, like especially being on Skid Row, man. It's just these like because you get your the people that you think are your friends. You know, you get things that stolen, things that you feel betrayed. So like sometimes you're just stuck with like that, like super loneliness. You know, just real lonely. You know, like you shouldn't be down here.
Shit, I bet. Look at him, man. You know, lonely, right?
I should be taking steps to go get clean. Not like steps to go get more. You know what I mean?
You hear him though, because look,
and I know I'm close.
Ain't nobody trying to deal with
that point. I just
at that point in time, your family ain't trying to deal with you, gang. You feel me? When you get that far lost in the sauce, you know you fucked up. When you that far lost in the sauce, you know you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely off that drug shit, gang. To the young ones out there, gang, do not be doing drugs, man. Look at what this shit do to you. I'm talking about it really fucks you up. The fentanyl, he on fentanyl. I'm talking about, man. Hey, yo, we got it's many more up in this motherfucker though.
Stretching it out one more day.
There's many more. I just had to show y'all, like, dude, the drug game be serious. You wondering? You heard him? He said he be young motherfuckers.
Talk about it. You realize how much pain there is.
I can't lie. From my hood, dog. Like in my state, it was plenty of young motherfuckers out there on heroin, dog. You know what I'm saying? I used to. It was this dude that was next door neighbors to us, gang. He was like 21, 20, you know, shooting up heroin. And that shit used to fuck me up. He had a little chick that used to come with him too. She was like 16, 17. No, 17, 18, you know what I'm saying? And she was shooting up too. She getting high as him. They both sitting there high as a motherfucker, gang. Like, what type of shit is this? Young motherfuckers too. There be young motherfuckers right now out there in them dope houses now. And it's fucked up when you black, though. You got to get your life together, gang. It's real fucked up when you black. I ain't gonna lie to you, because a motherfucker will do you all types of ways, talk to you all types of dirty. You be out there on the street, you know what I'm saying, nowhere to live. I be telling my shorties that, like, dog, nowadays out here, you know, a motherfucker, they find themselves with nowhere to go, nowhere to live, you feel me? Definitely behind making the wrong choices. I think a lot of times people out there make wrong choices, man. They do. They do. You know, we all know motherfuckers that have made the wrong choices. You do. I do. We all do. But at the end of the day, it's like, it ain't about the wrong choices you make. It's about, can you bounce back from that? Can you really bounce back? Do you got the strength to bounce back from that? You feel me? Sometimes, some people, I don't think they got the strength to bounce, back from that shit. And it be killing me, if you ask me. So let's see. It be killing me that they
What's your
can't.
favorite memory in your life?
My favorite memory has to be probably signing my letter of intent to go play Division I football.
That's great. That's good. Is that probably your biggest regret too? Is that didn't work out?
Yeah, my biggest regret was just, I wanted to play ball at that time, and at the same time I wanted to still party, and it didn't mix. And then the time my ambitions just got lower, and then I started, then I got locked up, and then I lost the scholarship. Everything just kind of like I didn't care anymore. That's the biggest thing. Is it takes away your passion. It takes away your passion.
Seems to take away your ability to just make anything work out in your life too.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. You heard him. He said that shit took away his passion. It probably do, nigga. I mean, shit. It was his choice to really use those drugs. It was his choice to go about the way he did. You feel me? And I don't think he probably should have went that route about things. Definitely not with this fentanyl. Fentanyl is a serious drug out here, man. Lately, they've been putting fentanyl in everything, gang. I'm talking about everything. Pills, all these pills. You see young black kids taking fake ass Percocet pills. And it's fentanyl up in the motherfuckers. They lace to the max. I don't know what's up with motherfuckers out here, gang. That's why we gotta watch what we taking out here, man. As a culture, if you got somebody who taking drugs out there, family, get their ass up off that shit fast. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
You don't get it.
You're not going to keep a job. You're not going to get a job. You're not going to keep your housing. You're not going to keep your kids. You're just going to get that drug.
Not finishing school was another big one. Not finishing college. I'm probably the only one in my family that didn't finish college.
You're the only one?
Yeah.
You come from a solid family.
Real solid, yeah.
Like both your parents had jobs?
Oh yeah. My mom was a teacher for like 40 years. She just retired. She was in the up there in Northern Virginia.
Hey, that's crazy. Y'all heard him. He said, my mom was a teacher for 40 years. Why do it always be the ones that be raised in the perfect houses? It be the ones that's raised in the best homes. You feel me? It be those, it be like, dog, how in the fuck do you turn out on drugs, my nigga? Like, was it the money? Was you getting too much of the money? You feel me? Because sometimes that money, I had them buying all types of shit, man, doing all types of shit.
A book publishing company, a big one. Sold textbooks to colleges throughout the United States. Made good money, real successful.
So you're the black sheep.
Yeah, my brother was right there behind me.
Hey, don't get it twisted though. I can see some drug users out there, gang, who be having their shit together too. I ain't gonna say, they all out there fucked up. I done seen some drug users out there who had their shit together, really though. They really got it together, gang. So you really can't just, say they all out there fucking up. You done seen some functional drug users, gang, too. You know what I'm saying? Wherever the fuck you from, y'all know. Nigga, hit that like button, man, stepping in this bitch.
No one probably would have thought.
He's older? He's older?
He's older. Just as crazy. You know what I mean?
It's nice you have that role model for.
Oh yeah, he turned like the getting and the using of drugs, which is like an all day thing, into like everything he does now is all about his working on himself. How can he get better?
Has he kind of transferred his addiction into?
Oh yeah, I mean in a good way though. Like
yeah,
he doesn't. Yeah, he does like gym, meditation.
That's what I'm saying. I guess my point is you can't just stop using the drug. You have to start running marathons or start going to the gym or start working on some project or just doing something to replace that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad I have him like to, because when I get sober, I just picture us like, throwing the ball again on the beach and going to the gym together and doing things that we enjoy doing as kids, growing up.
And that's crazy
What you say
because
is the most
it's crazy
important
because you see he still got that regular, you know, to himself. He still want to see himself as a regular person. You feel me? Like that shit crazy though, gang. You know, and it's hard. That shit, like, it's fucking with his brain as hard as a motherfucker.
My lesson is like, no matter how bad it is and how bad it gets, or there's always a way to overcome it. There's always a way out, but no one's gonna do it for you. You know what I mean? I know that, like, even though I did a lot of time, you know, for various things, and I know that that little bit of sobriety time I had in prison, and I was able to laugh and cry and feel some things. Uh, gave me like probably saved my life in a way that I had those breaks, and also feeling that how good it felt to be sober thing. It's still not too far behind me. I can still, you know what I mean?
Crazy,
Where I
crazy, dog.
want to get back to feeling like that again, you know?
You hear me? Want to get back to feeling like
all the
that,
luck in the
gang.
world, man.
You know, let's move on. Let's see this
Hope
next
following
one, man.
your
Oh, let's see this one,
brother's
dog.
footsteps.
I got to see this corrupt cop. I want to see this corrupt NYPD cop because cops be bogus as fuck. Y'all know that they be bogus as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they always want to act like they not really bogus. Like they act like they don't really do shit to a motherfucker. Like
I was born in Brooklyn.
Here you
My
go.
father
Let's
was a
go.
New York City firefighter. My mother was a homemaker. Back in the 60s when I was born, that was considered a full-time job. My dad joined the fire department in 1963. And in 1964, he took his family from Brooklyn, the flats in Brooklyn on right near Marine Parkway and Flatlands Avenue. And he took us to Brentwood, New York. It was a new burgeoning community that many of the New York City workers found themselves moving out to. It was affordable. It was a home with a backyard. And at this point, we had, I think there was 5 of us. And my next brother ended up being born out there in Long Island, and then my sister. So we had a total of 7 kids. We grew up in what you consider back then a typical Irish-American family. Dad being a firefighter, and mom raising us. I ended up with a passion for sports. My dad had focused us on, well, all sports, but particularly we ended up being involved in ice hockey. We loved the New York Rangers. Brad Park was one of my favorite Rangers, Gilbert, Hatfield. So we called it the gag line back then. So as you can see, I was passionate about hockey. And from that point on, we had basically our own team. We had seven siblings that could play the sports, some better than others. And it took a while to realize that I wasn't going to be a professional athlete.
Damn.
So at some point,
but
which
look,
wasn't very
crazy
quick,
because
but
this motherfucker a corrupt cop. Like, what made this motherfucker go corrupt, y'all? I really want to know what made this nigga go sideways. Like, what was he seeing out there in the field, y'all think, that made him go sideways, made him be a corrupted motherfucking police officer? Because I see it around the world. It's a lot of corrupted police officers, gang. Y'all know that shit, man. It's corrupted police officers everywhere you fucking go, right? And, you know, they always get the bill. Like, they always get that pass. They always get that bill to get passed. They always get that bill to get over motherfuckers' head when they, you know, take a life, you know, or I don't give a fuck if it's a black, purple, blue, white life. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what color it is, but I'm just saying, like, just for the simple fact, they get away with that shit. Like, what make these motherfuckers go corrupt? You know, like it says, we really got to find out. Let's get to the bottom of this shit, gang. You know, we're going to do this shit together too, y'all. Hit that like and that subscribe button if you haven't, man. And share this video, y'all. Share this video, man, as y'all come in, man. You know, get everybody awareness on these motherfucking corrupted cops. Not just only in NYPD, because we see it say NYPD, but they all over the motherfucking world. You know, let's be real.
I'll be honest, I held on to that dream probably up until 11th grade in high school when I realized that I just wasn't big enough and strong enough and fast enough. But between 10 years old and 17 years old, I had a very slow growth rate. I was one of those slow Irish growers.
Well, probably because you was going to be a corrupted motherfucking cop, officer. You know, like real life though, nigga. Like you motherfuckers go corrupt so quick, and you don't want a motherfucker hop on your head too though. Like definitely when we be like take off that badge and shit, motherfucker be ready to beat y'all ass, and they don't want to, you know, they don't want to do that. But we don't get no justice either behind the shit y'all do or y'all pull, Mr. Officer.
So it took me a while to fill out, and which sort of made me it made me feel less than. It was one of those things that I had to go through as a young adolescent, and I'm still trying to overcome it today. I was a late bloomer. I was very interested in dating, and no one wanted to date a late bloomer. So I would say it went into a lot into formulating who I would become as a young adult. And I think from that point forward, realizing that I was a slow bloomer,
he said it, y'all.
It limited my athletic involvement.
He said that sort of was like, you know, the outcome of who he was going to become as an adult. Get the fuck out of here. Can you believe that shit?
Because I certainly wasn't able to excel. Mentally, I was acute and aware and pretty good at things. And physically, I had skills, but I wasn't powerful enough yet. So it set me back. And I'm talking about this because it was a very formative time of my life that sort of would be the bridge to the rest of my life. At that, because of the shortcomings that I faced as a young guy, my best friends were powerful young athletes, and I was gifted like them in skills, but not capable of staying with them because of my lack of physical strength. So as you can tell, I'm focusing on this because it was a big part of my youth, and it was
the lack of my physical strength. Get your sucker, puny peon ass out of here, officer. Like, what the fuck was wrong with you, nigga? You should have been in the gym and shit. You wasn't with them when they was shooting in the gym. Oh ass nigga, like you should have been getting your muscles up, nigga. Get your weight up.
So as I went along in life, I became I began to make choices based on my insecurities, and being insecure, I began every time I dated someone, I latched on to them like it was my last date ever, and it was very informative and formative to me. I married my first girlfriend. In fact, the reason I went from high school to college to be an accountant, my mother asked me to stay in college and finish my accounting and get my accounting degree. But I chose, because I wanted to keep my girlfriend and marry her, I chose to take the New York City Police Department.
So this nigga was a simp. He was a whole simp the whole time. Sucker. A sucker. Like, nigga, look at the nigga bad. This nigga, come on, gang. That's the shit you don't do, nigga. You better chase your career, gang. Do what you gotta do out there in the field. I don't know what he be like. Come on. And he said it out his own mouth, dog, not me.
Test, amongst other civil service tests. And from there, I chose to take the police department when they called me. And then shortly thereafter, impregnate my girlfriend, and then end up marrying her. It was almost at that point in my life, I realized that I was the man that I wanted to be physically, mentally, or maybe not mentally. I'm still not sure that I am that man mentally.
Not mentally.
But you know, I could. At that point in my life, I was able to be physically
who were you trying to be, nigga?
Financially secure, and now I ended up marrying a woman who I loved, but it was puppy love still. It was my first love, and many of us know in the world today that those relationships tend to not work out. It's your first girlfriend, it's your first experience in life, and you end up marrying them. And it was a very difficult, struggling match for me. As I entered the police academy, her and I were still in the dating scene. She promised she would never marry a police officer. And I was like, why? I didn't understand why at the time. And as it turned out, I began to know why. As a police officer, you're exposed to a lot of different things. And women are way more mature than men. They're way more astute than men. She knew that there'd be opportunities coming my way that would be difficult for me to resist.
She probably also knew his ass was a crooked officer. He was corrupted, motherfucker. Like, come on, gang.
So she was right once again, as most women are. She was definitely right. It was difficult to resist certain things. And there was some lack of fidelity, to say the least, as I was growing up. And so, yeah, so it led to a challenging beginning to a relationship. So I went to the police academy, and as I entered the police academy, I was scared.
Listen to this
I was
sucker.
a 20-year-old, I just turned 21.
You
I
child.
was a young guy. I thought I was going to have a burgeoning hockey career. That didn't work out. In
Fucking
fact, I'll tell you a story.
Did the nigga
On
say
my way into the
hockey?
police academy, I
Hold the
badly
fuck up.
twisted
Did
my
this
ankle,
motherfucker
and I
say
couldn't tell you
hockey?
which one.
Did the motherfucker say hockey? Wait.
I went to the police academy, and as I entered the police academy, I was scared. I was a 20-year-old, I just turned 21. I was a young guy. I thought I was going to have a burgeoning hockey career. That didn't work out. In fact, I'll tell you a story.
Say hockey.
On my way into the police academy, I badly twisted my ankle, and I couldn't tell you which one today it was. I think it was the right foot,
But
or the left. Either way.
into his shit.
So
He
I
don't
was
look
so
like
excited that I was going to start the police academy, and the day
he don't
before
look
I
like the type of
started, I
motherfucker that's
twisted
gonna
my
twist
ankle.
nothing at all.
So I
telling you.
ran the entire police academy with a black and blue ankle, and I didn't miss a lap and didn't miss a step. But I was in pain for like a solid 8 months, and for about 2-3 years, my ankle was never.
He's full of shit.
But that's how.
Look at his face. He's full of shit.
That's how scared I was to admit that I had.
Look at that fucking face, full of shit. You was fucking full of shit. I don't believe this nigga worth. Listen, I will bet my fucking last dollar and last drip of blood that this nigga is lying. Gang, trust me.
I had an injury. I didn't want to lose the job. I didn't want to lose the opportunity to become a police officer. At the same time, I was scared to death to be a police officer because I didn't know what I would face. And not only did I not know what I faced, my physicality was just starting to catch up to me.
You was fucking out of shape.
I was between a boy and a man at 20, 21 years old. And it was scary, physically scary, mentally and emotionally. I felt less than. So I really was, it was a challenging time for me. And it turned out that while in the police academy, I put on like 20 or 25 pounds, go figure. Right? It's like you see the kid walk from the Marine Corps and he comes home a man. Well, sure enough, it just took me a couple of years later than the 18-year-old going off to the service. So between 21 and 22 years old, I really began to fill out and become much more physically capable. I was a very strong kid.
Listen, why in the fuck did they hire this motherfucker if he wasn't physically capable from the jump? Fat fuck, you was out of shape, man. Look at the wrinkles around the nigga neck. Look, gang, what the fuck? I mean, I'm trying to understand this shit.
I was a bait clammer as a child. As a young man, I was a bait clammer between 18 and 20 years old. I clammed the Great South Bay.
So all he did was
gave
eat
me
clams,
full
fat
strength for a young, lean man. And then as I filled in, it
gang,
really...
he just said he couldn't do it.
And I'm focusing on this because it's a very important part of being a police officer. You can't be a little Weasley guy and handle the streets of Brooklyn back in the 80s, I assure you. And now I'm officially a cop.
But he was a scared cop.
I'm not ready.
He just informed us he was scared. You know what I'm saying? Was this the time he went corrupt? Because I wanna know when did he really get corrupted? Like what made him go corrupt? The motherfucker just told us he was shit scared. You know, he was out of shape. He was a fat fuck eating clams all night. Gang, come on. Like, I mean, what's really good, man? You know, they hiring motherfuckers like this. You know, they hire motherfuckers like this, but y'all don't give a motherfucker who really really trying to work or really trying to do something out here with their lives, gang. You know, this motherfucker was just trying to go corrupt. You see the title? That's all he wanted to do. You know, I guess this is what they love.
I'm ready. I'm scared. So they send me to Queens. I get this slow birthing in Queens. They send me out on patrol. My first day on patrol in Queens, they have no radios. So now I'm a police officer who's still a little scared. I'm under the L on Roosevelt Avenue. If you're familiar with Queens at all, it's a dark, danky place, and it's a hustle and bustle. And I'm still a kid from Long Island who's not sure what day it is, and I'm standing there, and I need to have a quarter in my pocket in case something goes down.
Why just a quarter?
I don't have a police radio. I'm gonna bang on the street with my stick. No one's gonna hear me. So, to say the least, I was unnerved and scared. And I'm saying to myself, is this for me? I'm standing out here and I don't feel like I should be doing this. I want to quit. In fact, it comes to a point where I turn around and I'm going back to the precinct. I walk in the precinct and the lieutenant at the desk says to me, Dowd. I go, yes, sir. Well, worried, what did I do now? He goes, do me a favor. When you're standing out there under the L, try not to scare the public. I'm getting phone calls that you're out there with your hand on your gun. He says, it's going to happen. He says, but you really don't want to get known for like scaring the public your first week out there. So unbeknownst to me, I was scaring the public that was scaring me on my first freaking day on patrol. As the story would go, I would get more comfortable, and then the reality, and I graduated with what they call the training portion of my police.
Listen, man. Hey, I can't lie. I did want to listen about this motherfucker. Let me go to the names one day.
Let me tell you, I tell the story, and I'll tell it for your audience. I'm driving into East New York.
Let's watch this one, the brothel owner. Let's see what this shit was about. Let's see what's the name one.
All right, Freddie.
Yes.
Freddie, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
So I was born in Kuwait. My dad is Lebanese. My mom is Armenian, but we moved here when I was 3. So to Boston. So I grew up in Boston.
And you had a good childhood?
Great childhood. Mom and dad were together since they were teenagers. My dad was a contractor. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. Catholic upbringing, did the altar boy, first communion, all that good stuff.
Yeah, typical thing for Boston, right?
Yeah.
And so you left home at what age? Do you go to college?
I was 13 when I left home. 13? I had a little issue with my dad, and it was either him or I. He was becoming kind of too abusive towards my mom, and I stood up to him. He is from the generation.
Motherfucker relate to that. Y'all know how that feels. Sometimes you got a family member who a little abusive. You feel me? You want to step in between, and that's what had to happen. I figure, my nigga, for him to become this brother owner, that's crazy though.
Where one of us had to give, and I wasn't given, he wasn't given, so that's
so. At 13, you went where?
Left home. I used to hang out with people older than me. And we had a neighbor 2 doors down, my Italian friend. I lived in an Italian neighborhood. In Boston back in those days, you either had Irish, Italian, Black, whatever neighborhoods, So I lived in Rosendale, which is predominantly Italians. So a friend of mine, which was 19 at the time, he lived like 2 doors down from us.
For sure.
So I just stayed with them, stayed in their station wagon. They had a Woody.
So
I roughed it up for about a couple of months, and then but I still went to school. That was embedded in us.
13. That's
graduated
crazy.
at 16.
That's
went to college. Went to UMass.
That's crazy, gang.
Started working at 18.
I mean, but it's some motherfuckers out there though. You can believe though they hit it at
which was the only job I ever had working for somebody.
Leaving in the streets.
So yeah, that's basically it. I went to college and graduated and worked as a restaurant manager, and then I decided to move out west in '85.
You came to California?
Yeah, I came to San Diego. I was an amateur, competitive bodybuilder at the time. So I wanted to move out here, because Arnold was big and pumping iron and all that.
It seemed like Cali, the place you go to get, do that bodybuilding shit, gang. This motherfucker, you could tell he was out there bodybuilding like a motherfucker. He went and got cut on.
I wanted to come out to Venice.
But damn, he left at 13 though to do this, like to get on his own and show you. Motherfuckers be out here.
At some point, you get out there on their own. Owning brothels.
It's crazy.
So, do you want me to talk to you about how that happened?
Yeah,
how I became that guy?
How did that even start?
If you had told me back then that I would be doing that at the time, I would have said there's no way. But what happened was I got into the nightclub business, right? And I became 1/3 owner of a nightclub called Diego's, which was really popular back in the days in Pacific Beach, California.
He putting us on game.
And
he put us on
I would
game.
have customers come in, get drunk. You know how guys are. And every once in a while, at least once or twice a week, the guy would go, we had really beautiful, gorgeous waitresses, right? And barmaids. And they had them in really short miniskirts. I don't know if you remember the 80s, but back then, everything was miniskirt, right? And the guys will ask me, hey, can I go out with this girl, And they'll start offering money. I'm like, no, man, you can't ask me. Go ask her, I wasn't even on that plain. I didn't even want to talk about it. I didn't want to know anything about it. It's between you and her. I bought my own club in Ridgecrest. It was the only club in town.
Hey, he balling though. He
And the same thing happened. I've always had really good looking. I've always hired good looking help. Mostly 99.
Like he said, he went and bought his own club. You can't beat that. And plus the idea, like he said, motherfucker walking up on him, hey, can we date old girl? And they coming out with the money, so you can automatically, you know what I'm saying, like put two and two together to understand. He get the idea, like, oh wait, I might as well start, you know what I'm saying, getting in on this.
100% women, because I love women, so I want to be around women. And the same thing happened. Guys would ask me, hey, can I go out with so and so? Can I go out with a DJ? Can I go? Man, just go ask her. So now fast forward to 94, when I moved to Hawaii. I had an opportunity to four-wall a showroom in Waikiki. So I knew this guy that they had a show down there called Legends in Concert, which they have at the Imperial Palace. I don't know if they still have it now, but so his name was Marvin Silverman. He said, I have this comedy show. I don't want to do anything with the showroom, but I have another 2 years on the lease. If you want, take it over, and you can do some sort of a show there. So started the show. I called it Island Dolls. I stole the hostess of the show, or the star of the show, from another show, because she was already well known down there. So the show was called Island Dolls, and the same thing. I would have celebrities come in, and it was basically like the show. It's called Crazy Girls in Las Vegas, which is basically like a topless review. And you have a bunch of like 12 girls on the stage, and the star of the show singing, dancing, cracking jokes, whatever, MC. So I would have a few celebrities come in, and every once in a while they would ask, hey, can I go with so-and-so? Can I go with so-and-so? The funny part is we had a certain celebrity who's still pretty a celebrity still today, and he liked the star of the show. Now, at the time, the star of the show and myself, we became girlfriend and boyfriend, right? He didn't know this. So he offered 20 grand to sleep with the girl, right? I wasn't in love with her. I just wanted her to stay at the show because she was
20
the heartbeat of the show, right?
Yeah.
She was living with me at the time.
20, I would have told her, hey, look, baby, we got to get that 20. He offered the 20 G's to sleep with her. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, shit, they just became what? Boyfriend and girlfriend just right now, man. Hell yeah, take that 20 and keep it moving. Why would you, guy? You know what I'm saying? That's a quick come up. You can't see it, ain't. That's a quick come up. Y'all know it is. You feel me? He ain't even losing either on that come up. Shit. I mean, what is he losing? It's a free come up. You know, all he got to do is bust this little move. You know, and as Rocky says, look, she was living with him too.
So I went up to her and asked her. I said, hey, so and so. She said, yeah, I saw him. He's in the front row, whatever. I said, well, he just offered 20 grand, to sleep with you. 20? I wanted to see her reaction, She's like, oh, no, I don't know, because, you and I are together. I said, look, if I don't care. It's up to you. That's 20 grand. I was setting her up. She said, well, if it's okay with you, of course, I learned real quick, and everybody has a price, right? And she was a Vegas girl to begin with. So that was the first time I have ever had that kind of transaction, and I allowed it, Of course, she went and they did whatever they did. She came the next day, 20 grand cash, And
just like that, 20.
That was a hook.
You see that? Look.
Big money sometimes.
Just like that. You heard him. He said that was a hook. She came the next day, nigga. They got that money. I mean, what more can you ask for? Hey, he blessed her out of the cut. You know what I'm saying? He get blessed out the cut. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. You heard him. That was a plug. And right away, that would have put me over there too. Like, my nigga, I would have wanted to hustle like that too. You got me fucked up. I might as well. Hey, baby girl, let's get this money. Shit, he offered 20 G's. And y'all know them big ballers probably out there. Boy, they got that money out there in Cali. You feel me? So automatically, I already know they was getting that bread. They got right to it. Like him and Shorty. You know what I'm saying? Bonnie and Clyde type shit. On that note, definitely if they getting that money like that, let's keep going.
Times hook you. So it was definitely a hook. And from then on, I ended up moving to Vegas and started limo service. Everybody's asking me more about girls than the stupid limo. And I'm like, screw the limo. The limo's free. You know, here's the girls, and it just went on. And then I met this girl. Her name's Lisa Storm. She was a penthouse pat, and she had just began building her own website. This is 1998, and I had never heard. I've been online twice, didn't know anything about it, didn't know what an email was. So she started showing me what she was doing. Beautiful girl, penthouse pat, making good money.
So she must have put him on some type of game. On what though, y'all? That's what it sounded like. He said she started showing me what she was doing. She put him on some type of game. I want to know what type of game the female threw him on. You know what I'm saying? He was already turned up making that money. The nigga made 20 G's the first WAP. You know? You can't beat that. He made that 21st WAP. You can't beat that. And that's something, you know, most motherfuckers ain't really doing out there touching.
So I said, you know what? This is a really good thing. So I stuck with this girl, became girlfriend, boyfriend. And that's how I got introduced to online escorting.
Oh, shit.
And it was amazing. It was
So
such a breakthrough because
this shit turned into online escorting again. Like, he wasn't playing. To me, it don't sound like this nigga was playing about that bread. He was getting to it.
now I don't have to, because I was doing the limo thing, I don't have to actually do it in person. I can promote the business from home or whatever. So that was a big revelation to me. And then you can, of course, scale it as many times as you want, seeing at home with your underwear or whatever. I'm like, wow, this is great. So I took it around with it. I basically trained myself how to do websites, how to promote online, how to place the ads, where to place the ads, how to screen through emails, how to screen through the phones. And I trained with Lisa. And actually, she went from like 20 or 30 grand a month.
That's real shit right there. That nigga, he figured it out on his own. He said, look, I figured out how to train myself on this, how to learn this and that. And then sometimes that's what it takes, gang. Sometimes you can't be, too proud to learn that shit. Definitely if that's something you want to do. If you know that's something that's going to get you some bread out there, or it's bringing in you some money, or, like I said, you looking at it for your best interest. So that's something you got to learn out there. I know it's a lot of cats out there that be dependent on the motherfucker to help them with their business. Like, nigga, if you finna open a business and this is what you want to run, nigga, sometimes you got to get on your own 2 feet and, hit that footwork, that groundwork. You got to get to it yourself. You see him, he just said it, prime example. Hey, no doubt it was in 1998, but nigga, it's still money all around the world.
When she was doing it by herself. And towards the end, 4 years later, she was bringing in between 100 and 120,000.
Damn.
Just from the escorting part. Because I ended up building
nigga said 100 to 120,000.
like 3 different websites for her.
And did you hear it?
Yeah,
Nigga,
years
that's
later,
that chicken.
she was bringing in between 100 and 120,000.
That's that money. That's that money just on the escorting services. Boy, that's that money. You know what I'm saying? He has reached a new peak at his game. He was in that motherfucker. I see he was really rocking that gang. I guess he was really putting in footwork. That's how he was doing to him and that girl. They was really getting to that bread. They was really chasing that cheddar. And I think that's how you got to go about it. Definitely, if you got a partner like that, a willing partner, my nigga, y'all is both, seeing eye to eye with this plan and with this project. And both of y'all seeing eye to eye moving on with it. Then go get it. Go chase it.
That's the important part. Because I ended up building like 3 different websites for her. And so she did not want me to work with anybody else. And of course, I wanted to make more money. So I split up with her and started my own agency. And a couple of years later, I had over 220 girls and 33 phone girls. I got a license. It's called an alcohol license.
Now, y'all see that split.
And that's also a misconception.
Once he took that split,
about Vegas.
It caused him to, become bigger. And she didn't want him to leave, I guess. She like, fuck that nigga. We got together. We've been getting money together. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue getting this money together. Shit, I'm bringing in $120,000 off the escort business. He had another vision. He like, fuck that. I think I can do this shit myself. I know I can get big myself. I believe, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I could take this shit farther. And it sounded like that's what he did. Because you heard him, he said shit, once he split, he went and started doing bigger and better things by himself. So,
That it was legal. It's never legal, right? Either on the Strip, which is Clark County, or downtown Las Vegas, which is the city of Las Vegas, right? They have an intent law, meaning as long as you show up, as long as the girl shows up even at valet, they can bust her. They don't have the elements that is required in the state of California, for example. You should have to have sex for money. That doesn't happen in Vegas. As long as you show up and agree to say, oh yeah, boom, done. So, and that's what happened. And Vegas is a completely different thing than anywhere else as far as the business model. You have out call, which is the girl goes to the client, or in call, which is the client comes to the girl's location.
And I'm sure a lot of motherfuckers out there know about this shit though. But I didn't know this much money is involved in this type of
most
shit.
of our client,
like, who would have known this much money is involved in this? I know some of you motherfuckers who be out there escorting this shit. Y'all know how much money involved. Y'all know how much y'all get right. You feel me? But I ain't never actually took the time to ask nobody like, but this and right here, this shit crazy though. Like, is it really? Is this what's really real out there, y'all?
There were professionals in town for 2 or 3 days just for a convention, for some sort of business meeting or a conference.
And that's when they get
had
the
their own
plugs.
hotel room, and they felt safer in their own environment. And they would just call us when they're done with their work and hanging out with their buddies and colleagues and doing the dinners or whatever. So we worked predominantly from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m., 7 days a week. And that was mainly our target market, which is that one person, 99.9. Here's a spoiler alert, 99.9% of the clients throughout 30 years of this is they're married or attached or have a girlfriend, boyfriend. Some of them did that too. But
damn.
So yeah,
that was a spoiler
that's
alert.
how it all progressed.
He had to put that out there though, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to the females out there getting money, the men out there who's triggering, you know, to get whatever they need. You know, but he had to put that shit out there. Like, damn, it is what it is. Some of them motherfuckers be out there and that's the lifestyle they live, gang. And I think some of y'all gotta respect them for it. See, you really can't judge them, I guess, if they out here, what they call them, sex workers or whatever, whatnot, gang. The shit be wild to me though. It be wild. Let's keep going though, man. See the life of these folks.
How do you pick up 220 girls? Where do you find them?
In Vegas, it's really easy. Vegas, just
that is a lot.
The way Vegas is and the energy it has,
220 girls gang in his brothel. So you can imagine how much money he bringing in though. You can imagine how much money he's bringing in, gang, if he got 220 bitches on his brothel list. This man is bringing in that cheddar, that chicken. I mean, man, what is it? Is there any other brothel competitors out there that can, you know, at least compete against this guy? Because this nigga bringing in that bread. For what you talking about?
It attracts a lot of those type of girls.
Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button too, man. It hit different. Hit that like button.
Want to get into either stripping or they're already doing stripping and they go to the next level in the VIP room, then end up calling somebody like me to work because they see how much money is involved. And usually what happened with me is I treat the girls really, really well, and I was really fair with them. Most of the time I gave them 50% of everything that they brought in. And some people might say, well, that's a lot of money to you, but really they come in with zero experience, zero investment, zero down. Everything costs money, as you know. Business costs money. Ads cost money. Phone girls cost money. You got to pay them 10%. So they made really good money. And the average was about 50 or 60 grand a month for each girl. So one girl would do so well, and she was treated really nice we had a really good screening system, which is another very important thing in this business, the most important thing other than hiring the right girls. So you had to be very careful of picking the right clients. It's not all money is good money. You don't want to let money walk, but you only want good money to come in. So we focused on that professional, you know, that I explained before. And girls will bring other girls. I had a lot of students, a lot of ex-strippers. A lot of them came to Vegas with their husband or boyfriend, and things didn't work out, and somebody ended up being on drugs or what have you. And they ended up with me.
Were drugs a big part of the picture?
I'm totally against drugs. I have zero tolerance for drugs because I think drugs is drama. Drugs to me equal drama. I've never done drugs. I don't do drugs. I probably smoked weed once in my life, did ecstasy maybe twice. Even when I sold coke before I started doing this business, that's how I got the money to get the nightclubs. I never was into drugs, But in Vegas, it was difficult. You had to turn a blind eye because the majority of the girls, I would say, over 50%, did indulge. Whether it's
Right.
coke,
some of them motherfuckers probably out there
ecstasy,
really is. They gonna need that
heroin,
drug to
you name it.
really get past.
So what I did is I tried to
what they doing.
make sure they didn't do it
If
at
you
work
ask me.
or with clients as much as
That's
I
what I
can. Of course,
think.
you can't control everybody. Now, when we get to the Orange County part, that was completely different. That was a completely different business model. It was a completely different setup. I had changed a lot of my ways, and I wanted a really clean operation. Did you want me to expand on that?
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
So what happened was I had a problem in 2006 with the feds. They tried to get me on money laundering, tax evasion, because they couldn't get me on the other thing. And I was a talent agent for Valcom Studios at the time. I was the resident talent agent for 6 years. So we had Sin City Talent Agency. So what they did was they indicted me, and they can indict a ham sandwich, really. They can just put 1 + 1. Okay, here you go. Here you have indictment. And I sat for 31 months in North Las Vegas jail, where they held the federal pretrial detainees at the time. Las Vegas does not have an MCC because it's a small town. And it took me 31 months, no bail, of course. And I beat them. I got out. And by that time, they had taken everything. Now, by me bringing them back, I had lost a lot of the value of a lot of things that I had. For example, like they took 7 cars of mine and took them from Las Vegas to Long Beach for the U.S. Marshals, so they can do if I had lost the case, they would have just auctioned them off. Well, it's cost me over $36,000 to bring my own cars back to Las Vegas that they take in the first place. It's just, it's a whole mess. So I was really short on cash. I tried a couple of different businesses, legal businesses, and to be honest with you, it was too rough, and the money, you get hooked on the money. At least I was, on really good money.
Hey, you see, you get hooked on the money out there in the street life game. You really do. My goofy ass thought the mic was unmuted, but you see, that's the thing though. You can't get too greedy out there. You really can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't get greedy out there when you're doing shit like that. You really gotta get in and get out. And like he said, the feds wanted him for the money laundering shit. Who's to say though? Like, I wonder, did they ever get him? Did they bust him down? You know what I'm saying? Because he already know the money was good. And when you're making that type of money, you do not want to lose that type of money, do you, gang? Let's be real. Y'all do not want to lose that type of money, man. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't. Shit, you making all that. Nigga, you got 220. I'm talking about you times that, times whatever he's making. You can't beat that. And no one here you're going to beat that type of money, man. Let's be real. You couldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Some of you niggas that sit out here and jack like you can, but...
in Las Vegas, I never did less than 200,000 or 300,000 a month. That was just average. Sometimes you did over $1 million. And this is just for me, not gross. And so it's tough. It's tough to go from that to nothing. And even when I had businesses that were making 20,000 a month, it just wasn't enough. I had got myself used to a certain lifestyle, which is a trap, right? I'm dealing with that right now. So by 2012, I was pretty much, I had, I think, $1,300 left to my name. I said, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move to Orange County because I was thinking about moving to Newport Beach anyways. I had some friends over there that kept telling me, hey, move over here. That's where the money is, blah, blah, blah. And I love the area. said, okay, I'm gonna give myself 5 years or a certain amount of money, which was 8 figures, right? Whichever one comes first, I'm done. I'm retired, Bora Bora, Costa Rica, whatever, I'm done, right? So this was in 2012, which I was 49. I've always thought I'd retire, early, but it doesn't work that way. When kids, if you're watching this, when you do something illegal, there's no such thing as easy money. Easy money is the hardest money to make. Going back to Orange County, so I said, okay, 5 years or X amount of dollars. Let's say $10 million, just for the sake of this video. So I started by doing yummy, I called them yummy parties. Everything was pink and nice and bubbly. And basically what I did was I wanted to test the market, see what kind of people are living in the area, what kind of clients I have. It was a different model because in Vegas, everybody came to Vegas for business, and that was my client. In Orange County, the locals were my client because some people came to Orange County, but it's mostly I have to depend on the locals. So a friend of mine, she used to do the fashion shows and lingerie shows, and she's from Newport Beach, and she had like a good list of over 650 clients. So we put together yummy parties. Basically, I went to Orange, and they had a lot of big mansions over there in Orange. And I rented one, and we promoted it for about a month. It was a masquerade thing, and so everybody can have a mask because it's one of those things that people don't want to, be exposed. So I said, okay, great. It's around the Mardi Gras, so we'll make it like a masquerade party. And we had a really nice, huge, probably like 25, 30,000 square feet mansion with a big pool in the back, nice circular driveway. It had a big iron gate in the front. Everything was gated. So I had security at the gate. Everybody had to RSVP with a pseudonym, Wet Dog or White, Sky or whatever. So nobody had to use their name. We knew who they were. So they come in, they're on the list, on the tablet, come on in.
See how the order they got it in,
all
yo.
the security guys and everything. Valet.
It's all
Come in, circle the driveway, drop them off. A couple of
He
girls
dropping
came out.
motherfuckers
Nice.
off. We picking motherfuckers up. That's an order he running. That's what's up, though. You know what I'm saying? He got that order. Like, that's how it's supposed to be ran. I'm figuring, I'm figuring it's supposed to be ran like that, gang. And ain't no way around that. That shit crazy. That's the best way to run it. You getting your money. You better make sure, you keep motherfuckers out the circle that wouldn't block that type of money either. Because shit, let's be real. Black motherfuckers couldn't have this right here in the hood, gang. It'll be some motherfucker out there that'll, come and hate and make sure that you don't get that money. Make sure that something go wrong in your brothel or some shit like that. You feel me?
Nice, long, sexy gowns. And escorted them to the main doors, huge doors. Had 2 big guys open the doors. It's the whole Eyes Wide Shut episode, right? The same type of atmosphere. And they came in, you have the 2 big staircases, and came in, had a nice big bar set up. All the girls were in lingerie. I had over 95 girls.
Damn, over
most of them were models. I hired models, legit models, that like Victoria's Secret models and stuff. And of course, I had the girls that will do anything, the escort type.
You feel me? Look, you heard it.
So the way I
got the ones that's gonna do anything, the escort types. They down to
come
get the
in.
real bread. Them the ones that was gonna get that real money for them out there, y'all. It's crazy though, but the story would be intrigued because this is how motherfuckers, was taking their time out here and figuring and putting together master plans to get money, though.
And they get
And not
seated.
little bits.
They go get a drink.
You
I had
heard him?
a
He was getting chunks. He getting chunks, nigga. Come on.
cocktail waitresses topless. They were all topless. The barmaids were topless. Come in, all gorgeous girls. Get their alcohol, and we made sure we had everybody's RSVP'd for what they like to eat and drink, and everything was really upscale. And we had a DJ and a dance floor. DJ was topless. Before you asked me, yes, she was topless, right? And downstairs in the wine cellar, we turned it into a dungeon, like a domination dungeon. So I had a couple of really hot girls in like a cat kind of pleather suit, you know, that with the whips or whatever, and the whole cross thing, and they were doing each other with the, you know, S&M and B&D, just soft domination. And of course, guys could participate. And then going up to the second floor, on the right side, we had we called it a VIP area, which is behind closed doors. It was a huge area, as big as your studio, maybe bigger. And I had a stage set up with a girl show every couple of hours. So like 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So it was a girl on girl show with whipped cream and dildos and strap-ons and you name it, right? And that was basically to give the guys something for their $500. It was $500 to get in the door. Everything is included, the drinks, the food. We had a really nice buffet set up downstairs, you know, lobster and filet mignon, whatever they wanted. It was all nicely catered. And the whole idea was the guys go upstairs, they see the show, or they go downstairs or whatever. Of course, they're going to get horny. Guys will be guys, right? It's not that difficult to get that blood traveling down south. So get them upstairs. They see the show. Now we on the other side of upstairs, we have 5 bedrooms, suites. Each one has their own bathrooms. Really beautiful, very, very well decorated. And so we had our girls for that, and Kelly would go, and Kelly was my friend that helped me with this. She would go and set up the guy with the girl. That was her job. See which guy wanted which girl and what kind of girl he wanted. She knew all her clients already. So we did really good. We had over 320 guests at the time. And after everything, I think I made, after everything was paid for, the place, the girls, and I made sure everybody was paid really well. Because you want to keep people happy. You want anybody
I wonder how much
slapping their mouth, which you're going to do anyway.
I can't lie. I wonder how much you paid him. Y'all think he's going to say that shit? I wonder. Me personally, I want to know. Like,
so I ended up at about 50, between 50 and 70. I can't really remember exactly, but for one night, it was not bad for a month thing. And Kelly made about 25 or 30.
Oh, that wasn't bad.
Anyways, I ended up doing that one more time. Then I stopped it because girls were coming in that I didn't know who the hell they were. They wanted to work because other girls told them, you can't control this stuff. Clients were coming, bringing in 10 people with them, which they're not supposed to. It was just getting out of control. And I didn't want it to be a flash news on the 5 o'clock news where
you wouldn't want your hair, no, you wouldn't want your shit out there like that, gang. You would not want your brothel, you know what I'm saying, to explode all over the media like that. Definitely not. You know, it's already too much going on right now all over. But nigga, if you making that type of money, you know, when your shit get that type of attention out there from the media, motherfucker, you know, that'll stop your money. That'll stop a lot of that from coming in, gang. I think that's another reason that ain't, you know, good to have everybody in the world all in your business on what you're doing.
So I decided to start my agency, and before I went ahead and leased places to make them into brothels, I wanted to test the market. So what I did was I hired 2 girls at first that they had places and figured out the market. The market was good. It was enough to sustain what I wanted to do to get the amount of money I needed to make. So we went from that to 6 girls, and I hired the girls that didn't have places to work out.
And I see that was a key thing that he said. He figured out the market to see, you know, was it enough to make the money he wanted to make? You know, what exactly was the money he wanted to make? You know, I like the way he put that shit, because some of us don't probably think like that, gang. You really got to go into a business with the market mind to know what you're looking to make out of it, what you want to get out of it, what you want it to become, basically, if you want to keep pushing that shit or not. You know, definitely this type of business. I don't know how he was running it, though. Like, this some off the wall shit, though, gang. Like, you know, just putting it together in your mind, like, okay, you know what? I'm finna put together a brothel. Off, some motherfuckers coming to you one night asking you how much, you know, and they pay you for this chick that you with, and it's not your chick, so y'all just run this little play. Like, that's a different thing, man. Like, you really don't see that shit just happening. This nigga just came up with a movie type of, you know, script. This shit crazy.
So I would use like the Hilton across the street from the John Wayne Airport, or the Hyatt on Jamboree and 405. Really nice places. Around everything was around Irvine because it's a perfect area. It's not Newport Beach because it's very conservative. So I wanted to make sure I'm out of Newport Beach, but also I want that access so everybody can come in and go real quick. A lot of people work in Irvine. A lot of people live in Newport Beach or Laguna Beach. So that was a really nice central location.
Type shit.
And there's also a lot of businesses there. And that was my target market, is that professional that works or lives in the area, and made sure the hours were convenient for them. So we worked 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday. So we had bankers' hours just like theirs. This way they have the opportunity to come and do their thing and go back to work or go home, and nobody would know because their wife or their significant other will think they're at work. So I did everything I could.
See, he popping motherfuckers off. He said, a motherfucker gonna think they at work, you know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker wouldn't know. But what if you get that skeptical motherfucker? What if you get that skeptical motherfucker? Oh, really? Like, hold on, where this bitch ass motherfucker at? And they own it. You know what I'm saying?
To help them out that way. Yeah, I facilitated the whole thing. Anyway, so once I did the proof of concept at the hotels, I decided to start getting places, permanent places. So I ended up start hiring girls with somewhat good credit so I can get the places in their name.
Oh, shit.
And started leasing places right around that area.
Look, hey,
All
there we go.
upscale places.
He said he wanted some bitches with good credit so he can put that shit in their name. He wasn't playing. He said, give him some of the best credited hoes where he can throw it right in their name. Look, baby, put this in your name. We'll run this plethora. We'll split the money down, or I'll give you a percentage type shit. That's crazy. That's wild. But was it working for him? Yeah, obviously, because look,
It says usually one bedroom. That's all we needed because each girl was assigned to one place per day. So I went from 6 to 8 to 10. I maxed out at 12. So I ended up with 12 places with 12 girls each day, 5 days a week. I only let the girls work 2 or 3 days. So I ended up having to have about 65 or 70 girls on the roster to be able to fill all the slots. And what I did was I brought a interior decorator, made sure those places were decorated really nice and beautiful. And each place had a different motif and color theme than the other one. This way nobody got bored, especially the clients. So everything I did, it was with the client in mind. What would the client like? I put myself in their position. And I hired beautiful girls, 21 and older, made sure that they're overage, checked their IDs, of course.
See, now that's what's up, man. You know, salute to the young brother for that. He said, nigga, I'm making sure they are over 21. A motherfucker ain't finna be in here playing no games with me. A motherfucker ain't gonna play with my business. And you know, a lot of times I think a lot of business owners don't do that, man. Make sure y'all women is over 21, nigga. Check their IDs, of course, as you can see what that says right there. You know, check them IDs, man. Get them IDs checked up, man. You know, y'all, I'm just saying, this brother was smart, definitely behind running some shit like this. Y'all already know how quick they'll say you done something, right? You know that. They'll line your ass up. You know how quick they'll say you done something to their ass. You feel me? So you got to check them IDs. Don't you see the caption? Check them motherfuckers. Definitely. If they're going to be working in your brothel or your club, you got the little bitches stripping for you. Whatever the case may be, gang.
First, some of them I had to do a background check because they looked so damn young. Because I don't believe that you should work with anybody under 21. That's just my honest opinion.
Simple.
So predominantly they were between 21 and I would say 35. And the girls that were in their 30s, they were in really good shape. They're all beautiful. They're 9s and 10s on a beauty scale from 1 to 10. 10 being extremely beautiful.
Bad.
Because we were charging $500 an hour minimum.
Damn.
So you have to make sure that you can justify that hourly rate.
Hey man, nigga, you better
you
better make sure you come in there with that money. Cause nigga, they whacking you. They busting your head for that little punani.
They've never done it before because I didn't want to have them come in with bad habits or people that want to just come and steal clients, which some of them, of course, try to do, or the ones that want to hustle the client, which I didn't allow. I made sure that those clients were my clients. So I wanted to make sure that I keep them very happy, because the girls are expendable. You can always change them. It doesn't matter to the guys. Some guys, maybe 1 or 2%, they end up falling in love, which is another whole different story. But for the most part, they wanted a beautiful girl, a beautiful body that did a good job. So no drugs, over 21, either going to school and they had to tell me something positive that they needed the money for, whether they want to pay student loans, which was about 75% of the girls I worked with, or few of them that had a bad divorce with kids, single moms, they needed the money. Some of them wanted to save for a business. Some of them wanted to buy a home. I had a few of them that was very sad. And I always check on everything, fact check, make sure that, unfortunately being in that world for so long, you get a little jaded. So you always got to fact check, make sure that somebody's not trying to pull something over you.
Right.
I remember this girl, she worked at In-N-Out Burger and she was going to school, and her mom had stage 4 cancer, and she did not have the health insurance that covered. So I let her work. Unfortunately, this wasn't for her. So I basically told her that she shouldn't do it, because she was getting depressed and everything,
Type shit.
So I always made sure that if this is not for everybody, not everybody can do this. There's a separation between Lisa, the person, and Crystal, the escort, right? We use this different name because it's just like stripping, right? It's not you doing it. It's just a psychological thing. But some girls, they can't separate and they can't do it. So, and I always let them know, look, man, you shouldn't be doing it. And I didn't let them work.
Right.
The same girl came a month later and she tried to work. Well, let me just work a few days so I can make the bills? I'm like, no. Remember last time you were very depressed. It's not for you. You did not feel good about yourself.
Hey, I don't think he wrong though for that, man. He was letting a motherfucker know straight off top. Look, this ain't for you. If you down, you feeling down and out, man. This is not for you. You really should, move around. Live your life, shorty.
If you can't feel good about yourself or what you do, no money in the world is going to fix that. So forget about it. So that's what I did. They had to have something positive, never done it before. So I wanted to train them exactly how I wanted to train them, to be nice to the customers. I basically did this job as I would run a Fortune 500 company. I wanted the same type of employee, good work ethic. I know it sounds weird because it's field, but it could happen. I did it. Good work ethic, loyal, integrity, honesty, no lying. I hate lying. So I told them, I will not lie to you. Do not lie to me. And that was the kind of relationship I had. And I try to help them as much as I can. I give them 50% of everything. And some of them would say, wow, that's a lot of money. And my thing would be, okay, well, do you want to keep 100% what you're making right now? Or do you want to make 50% of this much since you're making this, right? And also they come in, no experience. I have to get the clients. I mean, I work 17 or 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the reason why I did that is I made sure I was the only person behind the scene, because I've been told on before, that federal case I told you about in Vegas. One of my phone girls actually took one of my laptops, and after I fired it and went to the feds. So I didn't want that to happen to me again. So I said, there's only one way to do it, one-man show. I can only handle so much, even though I'm really good at what I do. But I want you to imagine this. You got 12 places, one girl in each place. And I had to be in between every single transaction. And we averaged between, say, 6 at a minimum, sometimes up to 10 transactions per location, per girl, right? And I'm in between every single transaction. So you can only imagine. And imagine before I had accumulated the clients, once I got the clients, it wasn't as bad because I already know the clients. I had to screen them.
Between all the transactions, gang, he not playing. He said he don't plan on playing. He want to stay in between every transaction that there is. And I can't blame him. You feel me? I can't blame him because he making sure his money coming in. He making sure he getting to the checks. He making sure he's getting to the guala. I know some of you motherfuckers probably would have done the same thing out there in the hood, gang. You would have really made sure you got to that money like that. So you would have been on top. But you see how hard he been going shit since he started this shit, man.
The screening is what's the killer. Out of every 100 calls, I'm at like 2. I'm very, very picky, right? It's got to be a certain kind of guy. It's going to be over
So he picking these, what, the dudes for the bitches or the bitches?
35, used to be over 40, but they kept getting younger because it's
So he like,
more accepted
y'all
now
too young for my bitches, or wait?
to go out with an escort. Over 35, professional, have their own business or CEO or entrepreneur or VP of a company. And I have to be able to verify who they are. And I have my ways, of course. It's all about screening. So imagine screening and keeping everything going with 12 spots and you're only one person. That's why I work 17, 18 hours a day. I know you can relate to that because you got to be the videographer, photographer, you got to do the web designer, you got to do the advertising guy, you got to be the marketing, the promotions, you got to be the security, the screening, the CPA, right?
That's basically,
One man
yeah,
band.
your whole team right there. What he's saying right there, like, dog, you got to do everything your motherfucking self. Like, yes, okay, yeah, that shit crazy, but if that's what you want to do, you want to make it happen.
You know, I'm sure you do too, 25 hats, right? So that's why I tapped out at 12. Anyways, it was enough money. After everything was paid, I put away 50 a week. So that wasn't bad. 5 days a week, but I worked 7, right? Because Saturdays was for video shoots, photo shoots, interviews, and I did 2 or 3 per week, always 2 or 3. I got my clients really hooked on new girls, so I had to make sure I keep that supply coming in. Because to be honest with you, most of them were sex addicts and they didn't even know it. So Monday through Friday, I would wake up at 5, go to the gym, be in the office by 7. Even when I'm doing cardio, I'm doing emails and setting up appointments and everything else. And by 11 o'clock, I had pretty much 70 or 80% of the bookings for the day for each girl. I would turn them over once I have the client see one girl or 2 girls or 3 girls, at least 2 or 3 times. And I know that they're our type of client, which meaning that they're professional, they're at the right age. I prefer them between 40 and 55 or 60. They're very nice. They treated the other 2 or 3 girls nice, the one that they thought they were independents. I turned them over to my place was called OC Fund, my business. So I turned them over to the one website where all the girls are on that website instead of just having a whole bunch of websites everywhere. This way it made it easier for them. Look, man, this is what's going on. We got together. This is how I sold it. Us girls got together and we put this together. It's a username and password protected website. It's very secure and safe and discreet. And you're a
Man, I don't like the way he's throwing his hands out there. That shit right there ain't right. But I'm just saying he was getting that chicken. He getting to that money though, like what a miraculous playing game. You feel me? How in the fuck would he put all that together, or how did he put all that together? Like he said, though, he started with an old girl. He started with that girl. They started bringing that money in. Dog said 120. She started bringing 120,000 in. Shit, like nigga. And then what? He took him 50 a week, or was that 50 hours a week?
A VIP now, which made them feel better. I said they're part of our thing. It's an exclusive club. And so it was just, all the girls under one roof. And it showed the schedule of each girl when she's working. So the guys they're all businessmen, all professionals. So they had to make sure that they can fit it in their schedule. Because I had a lot of doctors. I had about 500 or 600 doctors.
Damn.
I had maybe.
The nigga had them clients, y'all. You talking about, how them, the drug dealers be having the clients, nigga. They talking about catching them his. Nigga, they was catching his, dog. He had them clients. Fuck you talking about?
As many lawyers. I had a lot of entrepreneurs, CEOs.
They panned, dog. They was
a couple
out there,
of billionaires, a whole bunch of millionaires,
and
a lot of junior millionaires in that area.
And that shit don't make no sense. These niggas out there, they familied up, they billionaires, they doctors, lawyers, and they was out there dropping that bread. You feel me?
Really lucky. I ended up with 8,600 clients.
8,600.
Yes. 12 places, 8,600 clients.
Just in Orange County?
8,600 motherfucking clients, again. Y'all can't tell me he wasn't eating good. He was eating, and can't nobody really stop that money. You feel me? I don't know, like, I bet he's still eating right now. That's easy for him to do. Like, come on, a hungry motherfucker. He probably see a motherfucker really want some money. You know, he probably see potential in him. He like, okay, look, I'm gonna take you to the cheddar, but we got to get this bread. You feel me? So that shit crazy, man. Them a lot of clients. I'm talking about, nigga.
It's Orange County, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what percentage were married?
Of the clients?
Yeah.
99%.
Damn.
Maybe
99% of the
99.3%.
clients
I don't know. It's over 99%.
married,
Wow.
man. He said
So
99% of his clients was married. Now that's fucked up. That's a fucked up percentage number because he just put a lot of motherfuckers out there on blast. Shit, he killed it when he said a lot of doctors and lawyers and judges and shit like that, real life billionaires, you feel me, that he running into and they collecting that chicken from. Like, dude, that shit crazy. They collecting that turkey from their ass. And you'd be surprised, man. Like, I'm talking about, dude, hey, what goes on under your nose, you'd be surprised that shit be taking place, man. It's popping off right now out here. Today, motherfucker don't even be knowing it, you know. But then again, you could sort of sense it like he said, they probably won't know. Bullshit. Motherfuckers know. They peeping it.
when I hired the girl,
pussy.
I made a deal with her. So I'll give you an example. I had a girl that went to UCLA and she wanted to become a dentist. She owed $150,000 in student loans, and she really wanted to pay it off. This girl was gorgeous. She was a Victoria's Secret model. She was half Scandinavian, half Korean. Just gorgeous, tall, beautiful body, amazing. And I couldn't believe she was doing this. She was so gorgeous. And I said, okay, so let's call her Sarah. We're going to do this for a year, maybe 6 months, because she can only work 2 days a week. At the time, I let him work more than 2 days a week, but she can only work 2 days a week. I said maximum a year, maybe 6 months, get you in and get you out. And that's what I did with all the girls. You know, when we first hired them, okay, what do you need the money for? Make sure it's something positive. I'm not going to hire somebody that's on crack. I'm not nothing against anybody. I'm just not going to.
Hey, right. He makes sense, though. I mean, because you got to think about it. Ain't nobody finna fuck around with that. Yeah, no. Who going to pay for them? What billionaire finna come through pay for, you know, one of the hypertense gang? I don't know if that's going to. I doubt they going to fly like that. That shit crazy. Dog say I'm not going to pay for. But, I mean, he ain't wrong, though. He ain't wrong.
Support bad habits. I had a really bad experience in Las Vegas, so I learned from my lesson to pay attention.
Right.
And this is why I don't really like drugs in this business. So each girl came in.
It makes sense.
We figured out what she needs the money for, how long it will take, just from experience. I got her in and got her out. Why? Because I noticed after years of this business that if a girl does it over a year, it's the point of no return of coming back to ever be able to be normal or do something else. It really, it's this irreversible.
Man, that's fucked up. You heard what he said. He just said that it's that nigga. He put it out there because it sounds like he's a guru at this shit, man. Like he's a
damage that happens to that person at that point. Plus the addiction to that kind of money. It's crazy. I mean, I'm addicted to that kind of money.
Hey, and that's why them rappers and artists be going crazy like that, gang. That money got them addicted, you feel me? That shit, you know, it's an addictive thing, but, you know, God is a jealous God. You can't really be that addicted to all that goofy shit out there. You really got to make it all make sense. And if it don't make sense, man, it ain't true. So you got to wake the fuck up. But I like what he said and how he put it, though, you know. He really want a motherfucker to think like, look, I don't want you to get addicted to this lifestyle. Like that song say, you feel me? I think that's the purpose why that song was created, though. Motherfuckers addicted to the lifestyle. Like
myself, to be honest. So I didn't want them to fall in that trap. So I always had good intentions towards them. And I wanted to make sure that I give them the best advice that I can as a friend and a coworker, because I don't want the bad karma. So let's see, what else we're going to talk about. So basically, I ended up with 8,600 clients, 12 places. Everything was going great. So mostly that's what I was dealing with. I kept it really honest. The clients, they're all happy. They couldn't believe they had such a safe environment for them to come to. Some really clean. All the places were decorated really nicely. Showers, everything, towels, everything was just beautiful. They had music in there, candles, incense, everything was just perfect.
The girls were happy. Clients were happy.
Girls were happy, clients were happy.
How long
There-
did this go on?
no complaints. I did that for 4.5 years. Finally, around May of 2000, and remember, I started in 2012, end of 2012. So around May of 2016, I started noticing weird stuff going on in the complexes, in the hallways and stuff. So I kept everybody on, I put out a bolo, be on the lookout, right? Because what happened was I would come in at the end of the night and check on the places. I had all electronic locks. So once the girl left, I locked the doors remotely. And they all kept the money, whatever we told them to keep it. And I would go and check on the places, make sure everything's clean. They cleaned it up. They had a little procedure to do after they were done with the shift. And I would pick up the money and go. So that May, I started noticing some weird stuff going on. I'm always paranoid, of course, when you're doing something illegal. Always looking around, seeing what's going on. Our character, something out of place.
That nigga said, well, you doing something
And
illegal? He ain't lying, though.
so we kept an eye out. Finally, around June 9th, 2016, I saw, a couple of girls told me they saw, when they were getting into work, they saw a couple of guys on different part of the complex. Now, these complexes have 1,000 apartments and 5 buildings, this particular complex. So I have one apartment here and one this building, one apartment there, one apartment there. And it's funny because they all saw the same 2 guys at one point or another in the hallways. So I said, okay, I know what's going on. Because they were trying really hard to bust me from like a year and a half on. From 2014 on, they've been trying. And I have such a good screening system.
They could not get in because what they try to do is they try to bust one girl. And that's how they get in. And then that girl spilled the beans.
Yeah.
And then
he was focused. He wasn't letting that shit. He said, fuck all that. Hey, I like that, though. That thinking, though, that nigga was on that shit. He wasn't playing.
you're done. That's why I made sure that my screening system was
tip-top shape. So I decided to, after 4.5 years, I decided that it was enough. Now it's getting to be too close for comfort, security-wise. Remember, this is still illegal, unfortunately. It should be legal, especially at least the way we did it. And decided to shut it down. But however, I got bored. And in December, I decided to come back because all these clients, I had over 900 emails after like 2 days because I didn't tell anybody that we shut down. The clients like, where are you at? What's going on? I was all over the boards. Like there's a Yelp for this business called the Erotic Review, right? Where they review, they call them hobbyists, the clients. They review the girls when they go see her. So this way, if you want to see, Jackie, you just go and look it up, see what other guys say about her. Is she good? Is she worth it? They give her 1 to 10, all the stuff, details, juicy details, they call it. So we were all over the boards. What happened to OC Fun? Oh my God. And I looked at my main email address. There's like over 900 emails just in like 2 days, right? I'm like, oh man. And they kept emailing, and they kept. So I had to get rid of all the phones and everything, of course, for security purposes. Finally, in December, I decided to come back, which was the worst mistake I've ever made in my life. And I was already being followed, and they had GPS on all my cars. I already found the GPS on I had 3 cars, and they were all on my cars. My girlfriend is a dentist at the time. She didn't know anything. She didn't know my real name. She didn't know. I didn't tell her anything. I was struggling with it because we were together 3 years. I'm having this regular life here. Meanwhile, I'm doing all this stuff. She's thinking I'm doing this business here, and I got this office here, and this. And meanwhile, I'm doing this. And there's no way I was going to tell her, right? Because I've been told on before. I wasn't trying to lie to her, but I just couldn't tell her. I didn't tell her my real name. I had a different ID, different name.
Oh, he was clowning.
And I found GPS. I took her cars.
He said different ID, different name. That boy was beyond dolo. You know what I'm saying? He went low, nigga. He went low. Like, what the fuck?
To my buddy's garage and found GPS on. She had 2 cars. Found GPS on her cars too. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. So now I was faced with a decision, right? Just like that movie Heat, within 30 seconds, what Bobby De Niro said, in 30 seconds or less, man, if you feel the heat around the corner, you gotta go.
Oh,
Right?
God.
So I'm like, okay, should I just take the money and run, or what should I do? Like, man,
Hey, he felt that though. He was right though. He felt that in his gut. Take that money and get the fuck up out of there. See, that's the point I be talking about. You can't get too greedy when it's time to disappear, gang. You really can't get too greedy. You gotta know when to fold, know when to hold them, know when to move around, man. Some of you niggas don't know how to do that out here. You know, some of you niggas don't know how to move out here on these streets. On the real, you really just, you know, you gotta pay attention. He said that shit to me.
Man, I'm with my girlfriend. She got an 8-year-old. I'm having this family life here. You know, I'm getting older. That's why these things don't mix. If you're gonna do something here, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do something, you cannot have both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You cannot be a family guy here, and over here you're doing your POV videos and you're selling pussy all day, right?
Yeah,
This is my friend. So I decided not to say anything, but I started again just with my OC Fund website, just with the clients I had. I picked like not even 1,000 clients, under like 800 clients. I said, okay, those are the ones that spent at least $500 to $1,500 every time they came. You know, our $500 an hour was our minimum. A lot of them just came, you know, 1,000, 1,500, whatever. So I kept the top tier VIP clients, and I only had about 18 girls working. And I went down to like 5 places or 6 places. I forgot.
Hey, so basically, y'all know, check it, we get the message, right? That right there, that was exclusive. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? That was super exclusive. But I'm gonna wrap this one up, man, and I'm gonna be chopping it up with y'all, man, in a few, man. Thank you all, man, out there. Most definitely. And when you watch this vid, hit that motherfucking like, hit that subscribe if you haven't, and share this motherfucker, man, on all platforms. Let's get the motherfucking subscribers up, gang. Let's at least run them up past 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Run them up past 1,000. We're gonna keep dropping exclusive shit. Y'all already know. And I'm gonna be back at y'all, gang.